Your mic is not on now, right?
Right. Yep, they can hear me.
And we're live.
And we're live.
Here you go.
We're live.
Climbing in the treetops, running down the shore, lover of the children, make me young once more. Singing in the sunshine, laughing in the rain, lover of the children, make me young again. Vigorous and daring, teachable and mild, lover of the children, make me like a child. Trusting to your goodness, walking where you lead, lover of the children, make me young indeed. Make me young enough to know that alone I cannot go through the darkness of the night. Young enough to see that your love will never let me go. Make me open to surprise, put a wonder in my eyes, make my vision clear and bright. Make me willing to be led and follow where you bid me go. Fearing not tomorrow, trusting you today, lover of the children, make me young, I pray. Make me young enough to know that alone I cannot go through the darkness of this night. Young enough to see that your love will never let me go. Make me open to surprise, put a wonder in my eyes, make my vision clear and bright. Make me willing to be led and follow where you bid me go. Fearing not tomorrow, trusting you this day, lover of the children, make me young, I pray. goodness, it's good to be together. I'm thinking of so many of the names of people who fill our audience week by week, and we've been through a year and 3 months of the COVID together, and it's been amazing. Some of the things that have happened and some of the things we've seen and heard. I've titled today "Open to Surprise," because there have been some surprises during this year and 3 months. And as things begin to open up, there will be more surprises. My wife Jane says that the thing that's for her the most essential thing about the gospel and about spirituality is surprise. Surprises, when they come, give life. So I want us to sing and talk and think about being open to surprise. Some surprises are wonderful ones, and then some surprises are ones that shock you to the core. And some surprises are surprises that you wish would never happen, because they jolt you from your pleasant existence into a place where you don't want to be. This song is about a couple of different surprises. And I've called it "Nothing Like the Rain." She's late, and it's a 3-block walk from the parking lot to the interview that could change her life. 3 long years without a job, she's been thinking all day long about what to wear. She checks the sky, knows it's close, hopes she makes it in before the pouring rain. But the sky breaks loose relentlessly, and she stands there shouting, "God, it's just not fair." Nothing like the rain falls on the just and the unjust just the same. There goes the hair, there goes the face, there goes the elegance, there goes the grace. Oh, there's nothing like the rain. Well, he grew up poor and dirty. Now he lives near San Francisco on a lofty hill. And every night he's in his hot tub, drinking red wine, looking out across the bay. And he cannot know that starting in the morning there'll be 4 days of torrential rain. And a week from now he'll be weeping about the castle that the mudslide took away. Oh, there's nothing like the rain. Falls on the just and the unjust just the same. There goes the hair, there goes the face, there goes the elegance, there goes the grace. Oh, there's nothing like the rain. Rain, rain, go away, come again some other day. I'm singing in the pouring rain. Bumped his head and he went to bed, and he didn't wake up till morning. worker on a cattle station deep inside the great Australian continent, where the hot sun bakes the desert and he wonders when the time of wet will come. Through all the days of dry, he prays and dreams the sound of rain upon that barren ground. And when at last it comes, he sings and dances to see the desert bloom. Oh, there's nothing like the rain. Falls on the just and the unjust just the same. There goes the hair, there goes the face, there goes the elegance, there goes the grace. Oh, there's nothing like, oh, there's nothing like, no, there's nothing like the rain. Falls on the just and the unjust just the same. There goes the hair, there goes the face, there goes the elegance, there goes the grace. Oh, there's nothing like, oh, there's nothing like the rain. Oh, there's nothing like, oh, there's nothing like the rain. You know, our rainy season in California lasts a long time. Rain sort of quits maybe around end of March, 1st of April, and it just doesn't rain until late in the fall. And every year, when the first rain shows up, and sometimes it's in October, but sometimes it's not till December, and one year it wasn't even till January. Every year, when that first rain shows up, it's like, whoa, what a big surprise! And I dash out my back door if I'm home and stand out on the patio with my hands up to just take in that surprising, wonderful rain. A lot of things to talk about in addition to songs. Sonia, this is the Interlude Retreat, right?
Yes.
Okay. You all know that these concerts for 15 months have been sponsored by Interlude. And we've talked about Interlude before. Interlude is our nonprofit that runs retreats for church musicians and brings me to conferences and brings me to small churches and has paid all the bills on these concerts for the last year and 3 months. Well, I want to tell you that if you happen to be a church music director, choir director, orchestra director, worship pastor, we have some open spots in our virtual Interlude Retreat this July. And the dates for that retreat are July 12, 13, and 14. We're doing a 2-hour session on Monday night with our wonderful facilitator, Paula D'Arcy, who is an author and poet and wonderful speaker and works with Richard Rohr, a wonderful counselor. And she leads us in these amazing sessions where we talk about how to cope with difficulties and how to learn to be silent and how to find wisdom and how to find peace in the warring factions of our lives and how to live from our center. And then I always do some music, and we have another musician, a wonderful musician who does music as well. Then we'll do a 2-hour session on Tuesday morning the 13th and a 2-hour session on Wednesday the 14th. And we have some spaces. So if you are that worship pastor, choir director, or church accompanist, we'd love to hear from you about the possibility of coming to our virtual retreat. The email address is ken@churchofchrist.org. kenmedema.com. The retreat is free, and if you join us for the July retreat this summer, you'll have an automatic invitation to be at our Interlude Retreat next June that takes place on the campus of Mercer. So if you are a choir director, worship pastor, church accompanist, or if you know someone who is in one of those positions, kind of mid-career, we gear it for people sort of in mid-career, we want to talk to you. This is amazing. People have written us to say how life-giving. I'll read you a little poem. It's the first verse of our retreat hymn, and you'll get a sense of what we do. Sisters, brothers, come together for these days of peace and rest. Hear and see and know each other, each one blessing, each one blessed. There is time for talk in silence in this blessed place apart. Time to work and wait and wonder. Food for body, mind, and heart. So there you go. Make contact with us in whatever way you can, and we'll talk about our retreat. So, another surprise. Are we doing, let's see, we're doing, one of the amazing surprises of these COVID months has been the different ways that we use time. And people have said, I had time for things I never had time for before. I gave myself to study or to learning or to reading or to loving on my kids or to helping my kids with schoolwork. And I hope that as things open up, I hope you will have the surprise of that kind of time. And I say that for me as well as for you because I know how crazy and busy life gets, right? For me and for you too. And I pray that we will have learned during this time how to take time for what really, really matters. Time to sit by a lazy lake. Watch the waves making love to the shore. I want time. Time to stand in the jet black night. Watch the stars as they dance across the sky. I want time. Time to watch a tiny baby sleeping. Time to hold a little girl who's weeping. Time to sit with the old man when he's or watch the young birds learn the art of flying. I don't want much. I just want time this time. Time to walk on a sandy beach. Put my feet in the cold, cold sea. I want time. Time to walk in a town I've never seen. Hear the sounds of life all around. I want time. Time to read a book right to its ending. Time to hold someone who needs befriending. Time to learn the wonder of forgiving, or watch a child who knows the joy of living. I don't want much. I just want time this time. Time to stop or time to dance. Time to be safe or take a chance. Time to give and time to take. Time to mend and time to break. Time to learn the wisdom of the ages. Time to learn the wisdom of a child. I want time. Time to watch the colors of the rainbow. To walk into the coming night. I want time. Time to feel 1,000 new emotions. Time to give my heart in deep devotion. Time for grief and time for pain and sorrow. Time to rise and face my new tomorrow. I don't want much. I just want time. I don't want much. I just want time. Oh, I don't want much. I just want time. This time. What's next, Sonia? Is it?
Kim.
Is it? Yeah. Speaking of time, this is very appropriate. Kim Chrisman, who was on our show last week, remember the dulcimer player, wrote us about some of her surprises during COVID, and we thought this would be really fun to read. So Sonia's going to read this for us.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so Kim wrote, I think the real surprise is that I started paying attention to the beauty all around me, a beauty that has been present and offering itself to us for all of our lives. I found the Big Dipper and the North Star. I found several springs that bubble their way from under rocks and tree roots out into the sunlight as they begin their journey to the sea. I saw the beautiful white blooms on the alternate leaf dogwood, which is different from the traditional dogwood, right out our backyard. It must have been blooming for years, but this year I saw it, and I enjoyed it with gratitude and love. A huge group of daisy fleabanes bloomed their heads off for weeks in our backyard, maybe months. I have been surprised by the songs and visits of several birds. A Carolina wren came out and visited us on our porch. Some hawks sang for us, and one flew right over our heads. Woodpeckers visit, sing, and hunt for their breakfast every morning. We can hear them tapping into the trees. A group of assassin bugs built a nest, and were born on our chimney. A bunny rabbit is doing our weed eating for us. There's always more surprises, and they all point us to God's creative genius and beauty.
Oh, little Carolina Red. Oh, circling hawk. Do you see the North Star? And do you know what it means? To have a North Star, to have a true North. my backyard. Do you hear the woodpeckers pecking in the trees? And do you notice, as I have not for oh so long, and do you see the blossoms? And do you see the changes? And do you know where the spring goes? On its way to the sea. You've never seen the sea, have you? You have seen the hawks, and you have seen the treetops, and you have seen the blossoms in the backyard. Oh, North Star, let me never again be impatient with or gloss over God's amazing beauty. Teach me how to stop. Teach me how to wait. Teach me how to see as I've not seen before. Teach me how to turn and stop and wait and find and see and know and love. Jesus told an interesting parable. Said there once was a man who was very rich and had lots of possessions. And one day when his barns were all full of grain and animals and whatever, he said to himself, you know what? I'm going to build bigger barns so I can have more stuff. And in the parable, Jesus said, and so the man built bigger barns. And then that night the angel came and said, sorry, bud, you're done. Or as the Bible says, this night your soul will be required of you. Not a nice surprise, a rather nasty surprise. It's called Barn Builder. He's got gourmet taste. He's got the money it takes to buy fine wine to drink and expensive food to eat. He's got a lovely wife and the wherewithal to put fine clothes on her body and expensive shoes upon her feet. Nothing like a glass of wine and let's chase away the blues. He loves those fancy clothes and he loves those fancy shoes. Putting it all together, living it all he can. Putting it all together and then he's gonna be a happy man. He's got a private plane and he's got capital gain and he can afford to fly himself most anywhere. He's got exotic cars and in his house a built-in bar and lots of high-class friends who say they really care. Nothing like a private plane and let you go where you want to go. Nothing quite like knowing, yeah, the people you want to know. Ha! Putting it all together, well, and living in a happy man. He's got savings accounts in Swiss banks to a healthy amount and shares in major corporations all around. Maybe in 20 years or so, well, he will go where he wants to go, and no one in the world is ever gonna put him down. Fool, don't you know it's over? All that I can say. Tonight the final curtain is being drawn across your play. You wanna put it all together, well, you'll never see the dawn. Before tomorrow morning, you're gonna be quite dead and gone. Oh, there's nothing like the rain. Falls on the just and the unjust just the same. There goes the hair, there goes the face, there goes the elegance, there goes the grace. Oh, there's nothing like, oh, there's nothing like. I know there's another announcement. Here's a big surprise. Yours truly is going to get to sing in Carnegie Hall in New York City next summer. A concert is being planned on the 10th of July in 2022. We're hoping for a choir of 250 voices. There'll be 2 choral pieces sung on the program. One of them is a piece that I wrote in combination with the composer Burl Ritz called The Weaver. And it's for choir and soloists and orchestra. Before there were roses, before there were rhymes, or rivers that ran to the sea. Before there were mountains and mornings and meadows and birds making homes in trees. Before there were pictures and pathos and passion and minstrels with songs to sing, there was Weaver alone, one in all in one, the maker of everything. It's a several movement piece for choir, soloists, and orchestra. It's really all about the wonder of creation and the breaking of the thread of creation by human sin and recklessness, and then the purpose of Christ to come and bring things together. The other piece will be a piece about the Hebrew scripture story of Esther called Triumph of Faith, and it's being written by Mark Blankenship and Mark Cabanas. And it's going to be a piece for choir and orchestra and soloists. And I'll be doing some solo work on the concert. You'll be able to, if you're a choir singer and if you'd like to sign up to be a part of the choir, you'll be able to do that. It's True North Productions /Jubilate. And I'd love to see a bunch of our friends come to be part of the choir coming in the summer. I am really, really excited. I know lots of people have gotten to make music in Carnegie Hall, but it was one of my dreams ever since I was a kid, and it came as a total surprise. So there you go.
A reading.
Oh yes, Steve and Mary have been loyal fans and friends for a long time. In fact, their church, Peace Community Church, probably knows more Medema music than anybody on the planet, except maybe me. And they even know some things that I don't. Steve and Mary Hammond were pastors of that church for a long time. They have retired now, but they're regular listeners to our show. And they have written, Steve has written something about one of his surprises. So, Sonia, what did he say?
Okay. So Steve said, one of the amazing surprises of these COVID days is the weekly Ken Medema concert.
Oh dear.
And not only Ken, but those amazing guests. It has helped us get through these strange days. You guys are the best. The song, indeed, is alive. Thank you.
It's nice to be a part of somebody's surprise. It's nice to be a part of the gleam in someone's eye. It's nice to be a part of giving something new, for the strengthening of the heart, to help you make it through. We never know just what is going to come when you put this music out there and it leaves its heart side home. You work to find the text, you work to find the tune, you lay it all before your friends, and maybe pretty soon you'll hear somebody say, that wasn't oh so bad. In fact, it's kind of nice. In fact, it makes me glad. But the very best thing of all that brings a tear into my eyes is the time I get to be a part of somebody's surprise. Thank you, Steve and Mary. Thank you so much for your kind words. One of the stories that has interested me all my life is a story about the loaves and fishes, about the feeding of the 5,000, where Jesus is feeding this whole huge crowd, and Jesus is preaching to this whole huge crowd. And it comes, the day is about over, and it's evening now, and Jesus' friends say, you better send these people home because they have nothing to eat. And Jesus says, no, they can't go to the village. All the shops are closed. You better feed them. And the guy says, there's nothing to feed them with. And then, the classic story, Jesus they find a little boy who has a little bit of bread and a little bit of fish. And the surprise is how that bread and fish multiply. This is called So That the Hungry Might Be Fed. I wrote the text for this, and my good friend and wonderful composer, Bruce Greer, has written the tune. To change the vision of a moment, to see it all through other eyes, to have a different understanding, to be all open to surprise, to learn a strange new way of counting the bits of fish, the bits of bread, to find the little loaves and fishes, so that the hungry might be fed. Dare to risk one's reputation, to risk appearing quite the fool, to see God's multiplying mercies, to live a life by different rules, to go where many will not travel, go where teacher Jesus led, to find the little loaves and fishes, so that the hungry might be fed. Help will not come from the rich and the strong, who reach and grasp and hoard their wealth away. Help will not come from the skeptics and the cynics who tell us it's all hopeless anyway. Help will not come from the self-proclaimed victims who dwell on the unfairness of it all. Help will come from the humble and the teachable, amazingly, wonderfully, mystically called to see what most will not imagine, to trust what many will not see, follow Christ beyond all reason, to learn a strange new way to be, to seek the tiniest gifts and blessings, the bits of fish, the bits of bread, to be the means of God's provision, so that the hungry might be fed. So that the hungry might be fed. Are we talking about donations now?
Yes.
I say this every week, and I really mean it from the very, very depths of my heart. I want to thank all the people, the many people who have donated to Interlude Retreats over the past year and over the years before this year, but most especially during this year when travel was impossible. And you made it possible for us to stay home and not worry about how the next loaf of bread is going to be bought. You have made it possible for us to pay expenses, and you made it possible for us to do these weekly concerts. And I am so, so grateful. If you have not been one of our partners and would like to be, you can go to www.interluderetreats.org, and you'll find some videos there about our retreats, about the conferences that we help to run, about our going to small churches. And by the way, if you're a part of a small church that has very limited resources, you might think about the fact that we can come to your church. Whether you have resources or not, Interlude can help us get there. We'd love for you to go to interluderetreats.org and think seriously about becoming one of our partners. Shout outs to all the wonderful partners who've joined us already. So, surprises. Here's a song based on Jesus' parable about the two men who went to the temple. Two men, he says, went to the temple to pray. And one was a leader of the religious establishment, and he prayed a very beautiful and meaningful prayer, but a somewhat pious and self-aggrandizing one. The second person sat in the back and prayed, "Lord, have mercy on me. I'm a sinner." And this song has to do with those two men. It's an old song. Many of you have heard it. It's called Mr. Simon. And I wrote it years ago, and it seems strangely appropriate now that we're beginning to open up our churches again. Because I have to wonder, am I going to be going to that church? Whether it's the church I attend or whether it's the one I sing in. Am I going to be going and going through the ritual and, going through the plans that we've made and going through the service and singing the right songs and praying the right prayers and hearing the right litanies and then hearing the right sermon and then leaving, as the song says, slightly wrinkled? Or can I dream that I will go to that Sunday morning, or if you're a Seventh-day Adventist, that Saturday morning, and come out changed? That's what I want to happen. I want to come out changed. I don't need one more time to go through the ritual. I want to come out a different person. And that has everything to do with how I come into the moment and how you come into the moment, doesn't it? And how the people who speak to us and who lead us come into the moment. Do we expect to be changed? Or do we expect to go through a proper service and not be late for lunch? Well, there's a man I'd really like for you to know. Mr. Simon is his name, folks like him so. He's got friends in all the nicest parts of town. His name is known all around. Every Sunday morning when the bells begin to ring, Mr. Simon's at the church. It's where he does his thing. Loves to join the lovelies who come to praise the Lord. Loves to hear the people singing all in one accord. When Mr. Simon prays in church, he's always heard. You note his every elegantly spoken word. Every time he prays, he likes to pray out loud. He loves the church, he loves the crowd. Every Sunday morning, when the bells begin to ring, Mr. Simon's at the church. It's where he does his thing. He loves to join the lovelies who come to praise the Lord, and he loves to hear those people singing all in one accord. While Mr. Simon's uttering his lovely prayer, there's one who sits in back and seems quite unaware. You hear him mumbling and you hear him say, Lord, I'm no good at all. Lord, have mercy on me. Lord, I have sinned against you. Lord, have mercy on me. Say, Simon, Simon, did you see that man in church today? Weeping, wailing in the most peculiar way. Yes, I hear his reputation's not so fine. I'm glad his reputation isn't mine. Every Sunday morning when the bells begin to ring, Mr. Simon's at the church, it's where he does his thing. He loves to join the lovelies who come to praise the Lord, and he loves to hear the people singing all in one accord. Two men walked into the church upon that Sunday morn. One left slightly wrinkled, the other left reborn. Out of need and out of custom, we have gathered here again. To the gathering we are bringing love and laughter, grief and pain. Some believing, some rejoicing, some afraid and some in doubt. We will come our questions voicing. We will search these matters out. Maybe I'll live here all filled up. Maybe I'll live forlorn. Maybe I'll leave here slightly wrinkled. Maybe I'll leave reborn. Here we come, our masks displaying, fearing that we might be known. Foolish games forever playing, feeling meanwhile so alone. Let pretension's power be broken. To be human, let us dare. Let the truth in love be spoken. To be human, let us dare. Maybe I'll leave here all filled up. Maybe I'll leave forlorn. Maybe I'll leave here slightly wrinkled. Maybe I'll leave reborn. We have heard the glowing stories of the things which God has done, of God's grace and of God's glory, and of Christ the Holy One. God of human transformation, for your presence now we pray. Lead us ever on the journey as we gather here today. Maybe I'll leave here all filled up. Maybe I'll leave forlorn. Maybe I'll leave here slightly wrinkled. Maybe I'll leave reborn. Two things before we cease. One, next week, my guest is Diana Butler Bass, noted author, lecturer, teacher, spiritual leader. She has just written a new book. She's the writer of many, many books. Her new book is called Freeing Jesus. Now, I'll bet you didn't know that Jesus was imprisoned, did you? So come around next week and figure out with us what it means to be freeing Jesus. And the other thing I want to say to you has to do with the fact that we are sitting here together in our mutual living rooms. And I feel like this is something much different than your typical sort of public concert that I would do in a big venue. I feel like we know each other now. We are friends. And I want to say to you, my friends, some days concerts go better than others. And some days you hit wrong notes. And if you are a musician, or no matter what you do, there are going to be days when you hit wrong notes. And when you do, one of the hardest things to do is to move on, to know that you've done the right thing, that you've made a good effort, and that this is not perfect. I am told that sometimes in Oriental rugs, they put one flaw in the weaving, so just because you don't want it to be perfect. And so today was interesting to me in that it has its great moments and it had its not so great moments. But I want you to know that nevertheless, I love doing this, and those moments happen. Those moments will happen for you. They'll happen for me. You will make mistakes in what you do. You'll make mistakes in coming back to normal life. You'll make mistakes in the work that you do, in the practicing that you do. You'll make mistakes in trying to do things just right. You'll make mistakes with your family. You'll make mistakes, in every realm of life. But the truth is, in spite of mistakes, you are valued and you are important and you are a child of God, and you are on this planet for so many really great reasons. And I hope I'm not talking too much, but this matters. And so the song is alive in you. Oh, the song is alive everywhere. The song is alive everywhere. And you are the ones who get to give the pitch. But the song is alive everywhere. And there's nothing like the rain. See you in a week.